Another new project is underway. I've been trying to design how I'm going to make a game of jokers and marbles for my brother-in-law. So I'm beginning to work on that. I've ordered some marbles. Hopefully my sample marble here is going to be similar to what I need. And I'm just about to mark out a template that I'll use for routing. All right, this is the template I think is going to work. So the next step would be cutting appropriate lengths of the material, and then bandsaw the contour, and then I would use this as a template to route the actual smooth curves. So I roughly marked this one, and then I'll take this to the bandsaw and cut it to rough shape, and then I'll attach this and route it to the template. I also ordered some acrylic marbles online. These were cheap. They were only about 13 bucks for the set or something like that, but who knew that marbles come in different sizes. So the cove bit that I used to make these are going to be the little grooves for the men. These are slightly big, and then I have a smaller bit, and these are slightly small, but I don't have the bit in between, so I think I'm going to just go with the big ones. They'll sit in there, I think, better without rolling off. I've got the template mounted on one of the pieces now, and with the bearing router I'll have to, I have two, so one with the bearing on the bottom, one with the bearing on the top, and the arrows remind me when this template is up which way to go, so that I don't end up coming against the grain. Basically it's around these curves that's most important. So with this bearing on, I'll flip this over and I'll do a bit of the routing here, and it'll be the same process for all of the different pieces. Okay, that's one that's routed. Next I have to decide how I'm going to cut down these ends. So they need to be halfway cut so I can apply a dowel on one end so that they'll interlock. So depending on how many people are playing, each color has one piece. So we're going to figure that out next before I take the pattern off. I think the next thing I'm going to do is drill the hole. There's going to be a through hole on this side for the pin. So I reattached the template temporarily as close as possible. This doesn't need to be perfect because I'll have a little bit of room in the end for the hinging. So I have the drill press set up so that this will drill through, and then I can just drill all 8 pieces. And then I'll use the dado blade on the table saw to cut the recesses. All right, making progress here. I've set the dado blade up with the proper depth. It's going to be just shallow enough that I can plane off the marks so that it'll fit, and this will be nice and smooth. and I've used my practice piece here to set the proper distance up. So we'll get going now on getting all these dado cuts done. Just using the shoulder plane to clean up the ends of these little dado grooves. My dado blade left. And the rest I'll sand later. Fast forward a little while, I have sanded these pieces top and bottom to 120 grit and around the edges, and I have figured out the length of 1/2 inch dowel that I need to put in here, and then begun drilling these so that these will lock together like so. So I'm going to finish putting these dowels in and drilling these holes, and then I'll be ready to begin routing the spots for the marbles. Okay, after a lot of measuring and remeasuring and erasing, I figured out how I'm going to do this. I think these holes for the pieces are going to be every 3/4 inch spaced, cut with a cove bit, and I've measured out on the back of the fence here 3/4 inch markings. The primary markings are just like a line. I'll clamp a board and then I'll bring the piece down on the bit at that point. The secondary markings are for the other side, so for the storage places and for the home for the pieces. So that will get both of them with one router setup, and then when I'm done all 8 pieces, I'll just need to set something up just to get this in between cove cut. So all the holes, marble divots are routed. Next I'll set up just a round over bit just to go around the edges of this to make it, it's pretty sharp on the edges, so we'll just do that. Do a little bit of sanding and then we're pretty close to finished. This is the production of the bag that's going to carry the pieces. So I'm in the middle of the process of applying oil and shellac to these. I think 2 coats is going to be enough, but the beauty of the oil shellac is you can put the shellac on immediately after the oil. You don't have to wait for it to dry, and then the wipe on shellac here just dries so quickly, so you can basically get this all done relatively quickly. So here are the finished pieces. They're all finished now, several coats of shellac on the oil. And that wraps up this project. I hope you enjoyed it. It was another one where I learned something new, reviewed some old techniques, and hopefully you enjoyed it and can give it a try yourself.